What's up everybody, Aditya Mahajan here and welcome back to yet another YouTube video. In today's video, we'll be talking about another lead code question number 341, also called as Platten Nested List Iterator. It has also been asked in day 13 of April Lead Code Challenge. So let's get started. You are given a nested list of integers called as nested list, and each element is either an integer or list whose element may also be integers or list. So basically they are saying that we can have a list whose elements can be integers or another nested list. So implement an iterator to flatten it. We are given a class nested iterator class which has a nested iterator constructor which gives us a nested list which we have as a vector. So we also have two functions, next and has next. So as we can see, has next tells if there is a next element present or not. So it would return a boolean that is true or false on the basis of if it has or not. And the next function that we have is next, which returns the next integer. So it would return an int. So if we look at an example, the first example we have is this is the main list, which has the first element as a list, and this list contains two elements, that is 1 and 1. The second element of the main list is an integer, which is 2, and the third element of the main list is again a list which contains two integers, 1 and 1. So after flattening, our output should be like this, which is a simple list or a vector that is 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, which is basically an abstracted form of our main list. So by looking at the question, one thing is for sure that we do not know how many nested loops there can be present. For example, in the first example, we just have a single nested loop, that is the main list and the second list. In the second example, we have two nested loops, the main list, the second list having first element as 4, and the third second internal list that is having element 6. So for loop just goes out of the question because we do not know how many nested loops that can be present. We can think of while loop, but still with while loop, it would be very difficult to handle a large number of nested cases, and it can be a bit exhausting to check all the corner cases. So what else can we think of right now? If we look at the question very properly, we can see that we are just given a main list, and in that list for each element we need to take a decision, or we have to make a choice, that is either to classify that element to be an integer or to classify that element to be a list. So if that particular element is an integer, then we just take that integer and push it into a final answer. That is done. But if that particular element is a list, then what we do? We will take that list and make it our main list and then do all the things again. Check the second list, check the first element, classify it as integer or a list, and then proceed further. So do you find a logic or sensible thing that here? And yes, you guessed it right. This is kind of recursion pattern, and we can solve this question by recursion. By using a shell or helper function, we can optimize or handle the parameters more easily. So basically what we'll do in our main function or the constructor, we will call this shell function or the helper function. And let's say that this helper function will take the list and do all the things for us. That is, take this list and give me a flattened list. Okay, so what this helper function would basically do is it will take the list, and while iterating, it would basically make two choices. That is, for each element, if that element is an integer, it would basically put it into a final answer, or else if that is an list, then we will take that list and again call the helper function, that is itself, by passing the same list. So for implementing the solution, the first thing that we require is an output, that is a list or a vector. So let us create a global list or a vector. So we'll call it as a vector. We are having our final list or answer list. And now we need a pointer variable so that we exactly know till what point we are currently present. So we'll just create a pointer variable and let's say I and put it to 0. Whenever an class is instantiated, we come to the constructor, right? So in the constructor, we have been returned a nested list, which is a vector. So as I already said, in recursion, I like to use a helper or a shell function. So we'll define a helper and we'll directly pass it the nested list, and we'll just create that helper function right above the constructor, and the return type would be void because it is a recursive function and we do not have to return anything because we are using a global output variable. So this is the nested integer, and let's call it, let's pass it by reference. So now we have created our self function, and in this self function, we need to iterate in the each element of the nested list. So we'll do a for loop. Okay. So now for each element, we basically have two choices. That is either it is it an integer or is it a list. So we'll do a simple if check, and we are checking is integer. So if it is an integer, we'll do one thing, and else if it is not integer we'll do something else. So as we already said, we are checking the list for each element. If it is an integer, we'll directly push it to our final output. So basically, if whatever we find element is an integer, in that case we'll just do output dot pushback. So this is basically the first case in which the element that we have got is an integer. But if whatever we have got is an list, then we just recurse further and pass that list to again this helper function. So once this is done, now we are almost done, because the helper function just need to do two things. That is to classify if it is an integer or if it is a list, and rest other things would be handled on its own. So we are done with the helper function, and now we need to implement the next and has next functions. So basically what next does is it gives you if there is a next element present, it returns you that. So basically we can do is we can directly create an variable answer which we need to return. So initially let's set it to -1, because we do not know if we need to add a check that if the current position is not already exited. I mean, it is not already out of the bounds of the vector that we have created. So we'll do a simple check, that is if I is less than. Okay. So if it is less than, then only we need to return, and we'll increment I plus plus, because we have used this current element. And we'll after this we'll just return answer. You can also do one thing is in place of this complete logic, you can directly do if this add function internally handles the edge cases, so you do not need to worry about this. So you can basically do this or this. Okay, so I'll just comment it out for now, and these two things would do the same thing. Okay, so now we need to look at the has next function that returns a simple boolean, and it checks that if there is a next element present. So it is actually very simple. We just check if the current pointer is pointing to a number which is less than the size of the list output list. So we'll do out I is less than output dot size, and I think that's it. That's almost our code. Let's just try and run it. Okay, so we are getting an TLE, and why is that? Oh, look at here. I told you this is the same way as this, but I forgot to increment the I. So let's just increment the I and run it again and see if our code works. Most probably it would work, and it is working. Let's just submit it, see if it passes all the corner cases. And yes, it is faster than 91.5% C++ submission, less than 90.99 storage. So just to summarize, what we are basically doing here is we are creating two global variables. One is a vector, also called as output, and second is a pointer variable I. Then in the constructor, we are using a shell or a helper function, which is helpful for doing the recursion. In the recursion, we are taking the nested list, which is the parameter to the constructor, and then iterating over the each element of the list. And then while iterating to the each element, we have two basic choices. That is first, if it is an integer, or else it is a list. If it is an integer, we are just pushing it back into the output. If it is a list, we are recursing further to the same helper function. Once we end out, we are given with the output final answer variable. For implementing the next function, we are basically just outputting the ith index value that is present. If you want to handle the corner cases by your own, you can do this, or you can directly use dot add function and then pass the answer and increment I. For has next, it is too very simple. We are just checking if current counter I is less than the size of our final output variable. So that's it, guys. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Also, if you need more such lead code question, do subscribe. And That's all. You will find the code link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.